Kemba Walker only a few seasons ago was known as one of the most dynamic point guards in the entire NBA. I still remember him in the Charlotte Hornets All-Star game where we got to play and it was just a beautiful thing to watch. Now we fast forward to the 2020-2021 year and let's just say his time with the Celtics have been leaving a lot to desire. With that being said, a Woj bomb just dropped that got Kemba Walker out of the Boston Celtics and over to the OKC Thunder in exchange for Al Horford and Moses Brown. Al Horford back on the Celtics, Kemba on the OKC Thunder, looking to rejuvenate his career and hopefully, maybe land a superstar player via trade for the OKC Thunder the next few seasons. For today's video, we are going to talk about the trade and everything going on in today's NBA. Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So if you are anything like me, you were completely caught off guard by the Woj bomb this morning, guys. Like, seriously, I was laying in bed and I freaking did like a backflip out of bed. I think I tweaked my neck. I actually got an official injury because of this trade that just went down, guys. I'm going to read the trade for you right now. According to Adrian Woj, the Celtics are trading Kemba Walker, the number 16 pick overall in the 2021 draft, and the 2025 second round draft pick to the OKC Thunder for Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick. Sources tell ESPN, man. And the next tweet that Adrian Woj actually said was, Boston gets financial flexibility, moving off the $73 million owed Kemba with the return of Horford. OKC has 3 first-round picks in July now. Thunder can work with Walker on what's next for him as they did with CP3, Melo, and Al Horford, of course, man. So we got so much to talk about, but of course, before we start talking about, if you guys don't mind leaving a like on this video, 1,000 likes is always the goal. And of course, if you are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button. So close to 300K, and yeah, man, would really appreciate, to have you here for the daily NBA uploads. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. I think I guess the first thing we should start with is probably like, why the hell would the OKC Thunder, trade for a 31-year-old Kemba Walker when they are in a rebuild? He kind of has some knee injury things going on and his contract situation is not the greatest. I am going to explain why they would do this, man. I actually have 2 reasons why I think this is going down. The first reason is, the guy they traded away was Al Horford. No disrespect to Moses Brown. Like, Moses Brown is actually be a really solid center and everything in the NBA. But they traded away Al Horford, a guy that was, sitting out their bench, unhappy, not playing. Kemba Walker can at least, play for the OKC Thunder, and having him out there actually makes a little bit of sense. On the season, Kemba Walker did average 19 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds per game. But the biggest reason that I really think that he is going to, be on the OKC Thunder is because I think when it comes down to it, they can be what I like to call fun-petitive. Fun-petitive is like competitive, except you're not going to win a championship. But, fans are still going to have fun watching your team and watch you be competitive, man. A very similar situation to when Chris Paul was on the OKC Thunder. We all knew they weren't going to win the championship, but they were still fun to watch. And a team like the OKC Thunder that have, damn, a trillion draft picks, they can do something like that because they don't have to worry about really going in a full-on tank because they got so many draft picks from other teams that they are going to get more than enough great players over the course of the next 5 seasons. So, Kemba Walker can come on the team and do his thing. And not only that, it's going to be a circumstance similarly to the Charlotte Hornets where he's going to have, the green light to go absolutely crazy. Obviously, Kemba Walker, when he was on the Boston Celtics, him on that team in the first place did not make a ton of sense just because of the scoring talent of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Anytime the ball was in Kemba's hands, it wasn't in those guys' hands, and that's not really how you want to run that team. But now it's they're obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the team, who's an absolute beast. Love him at the shooting guard spot, but we all know that, he can operate right there and play with a successful point guard like he did with Chris Paul, right, man? So I just think it's going to be a good opportunity for them to showcase Kemba Walker for a little bit, show teams he still has it, and obviously down the road, maybe flip him for some more draft picks or whatever. I mean, the OKC Thunder just overall are such an interesting team. You just look at that squad and how they're kind of operating, and it's kind of like a rebuild we've never really seen before. And just like I said, man, the opportunity to go out there and showcase these players and without really the worrisome of actually having to win a championship, it's just kind of interesting. It's almost like they are a farm league with which is I don't know, man. I don't know if you really want that from your franchise, but at the same time, if they can be fun and competitive, I think OKC Thunder fans are okay with that for right now. But I will say, before we get into the Boston Celtics side of things, I have just a 2% chance of something happening right here, man. Okay, so Man, I'm gonna get roasted about this one in the comment section. But I don't know if I should say it, man. Maybe can y'all drop that like first? Cause I don't want people to dislike and get mad about me, man. It's just a thought, just, an opinion right here, okay? I have a feeling what they're doing is they are setting up themselves to be best positioned to trade for Zion Williamson. I said it, man. I'm not saying that Zion's going to get traded from the Pelicans, but we all know that story that I covered yesterday. But what I'm saying is they are putting themselves in a better position to do so. Because if you are the Pelicans and you trade Zion away, for one, a lot of teams just simply are not going to have enough, trade assets to do so. But if there's one team that has trade assets to do so, it would be the OKC Thunder. And if they want to toss like a name out there, because like let's say they'll be like, okay, you guys can have like 10 first round draft picks for Zion. Okay, that's nice, but also you want some players back too. And I think personally speaking, a team like the Pelicans, they would rather have a Kemba Walker over Al Horford. So by doing that, you give yourself the name, the former All-Star, to toss into a trade package for a guy like Zion Williamson. Do I think this is going to happen? Probably not. But I'm just saying that this trade caught me completely off guard this morning, and especially after what's going on with Luka Doncic and what's going on with Zion Williamson and potentially one of those guys being available, or even like a Brandon Ingram, somebody out there, man. It just seems like this is a short-term move, for a long-term, mindset, or really having their eyes set on a completely different goal, trying to get somebody else here on this OKC Thunder team, man. So that's just my thoughts about that. Next up, let's talk about the Boston Celtics, because obviously, they did trade away that number 16 pick. I thought that was a good move. When it comes down to it, this Celtics team, they already have like a lot of young players that are not really getting enough playing time because of being part of a competitive, championship caliber team. You got guys like Carson Edwards, Romeo Langford. So, trading that pick away doesn't really bother me whatsoever. But there's a few things that needs to be addressed here. For one, they got Al Horford back. If I remember correctly, it wasn't like a perfect reunion when he came back to the team, to like play against him. I thought he got booed, so I don't know if it's gonna be like awkward for Al Horford and the fans, but I think over time you guys will probably both get over it. So yeah, getting Al Horford back does give them more at the center position. Let me look it up real quick here on my end, guys, how Al Horford did in his last season on the Boston Celtics, because last year he was obviously in OKC, averaged 14 points, 7 rebounds per game. Season before, he was pretty trash on the Philadelphia 76ers as they tried to run that power forward alongside Joel Embiid. That was just bad. But then the season before on the Boston Celtics, 2018-2019 season was the last time, played 68 games, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. I remember his defense was pretty stellar out there too. So definitely up there in age. I don't know if Al Horford is somebody you want to rely on as a full-time starter, especially for the Celtics team. But, let's look at their center depth now, man. They got Al Horford. They got Robert Williams on the team still. I still think Robert Williams is going to be the full-time center. But a very underrated guy that you guys just got was Moses Brown. This guy literally had a 2020 game last season. He's an absolute beast. He can score on the inside. He can play some good defense. Moses Brown, Robert Williams, if that ends up being your 1-2, center punch, one guy starting, one guy coming off the bench, you are in a fantastic situation. So I think Moses Brown is a big time underrated move, getting him on the team for the Celtics. We see the name Al Horford, we're like, okay, cool. But Moses Brown, man, I got a feeling is going to be the Celtics fans' favorite part of this entire trade. I really think he's going to be pretty damn good. As far as his stats, I don't have him quite pulled up in front of me at the moment. I don't think he had crazy overall stats. He just was more one of those guys that had a nice game every now and then. But on the season, in about 20 minutes per game, he averaged 9 points, 9 rebounds, and about a block a game. So he really could be something special for this Celtics squad here. So obviously, what this leaves now is the Celtics in a situation where they need a new point guard. I like Marcus Smart, but I don't know if I like Marcus Smart at the point guard spot. I guess you could run him there in theory, and that'd be fine. But I think they need more of a playmaking guy. And, I really think this is going to set up the Celtics, because I don't think they're going to start Peyton Pritchard. I don't think he's quite ready for that role yet for this team. But I do see them going for maybe a 2-year deal of a Kyle Lowry or a Mike Conley. There's a Goran Dragic even. There's a lot of just good 2-season contract type of point guards out there that the Celtics can get that fit in instantly as they continue to develop, Peyton Pritchard and other guys like that on the team, man. So, yes, this trade, very, very exciting, man, to start the morning off. I was not expecting it at all. I'm yo, bitch-ass playoffs is still going on, but here we are, guys. So yes, just to reiterate, the TLDR, Kemba Walker, number 16 pick, and the number 2025 second round pick to the OKC Thunder for Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.